Guangxi, officially the Guangxi-Zhuang Autonomous Region, is an autonomous region of the People's Republic of China, located in South China and bordering Vietnam and the Gulf of Tonkin. Formerly a province, Guangxi became an autonomous region in 1958. Its current capital is Nanning. Guangxi's location, in mountainous terrain in the far south of China, has placed it on the frontier of Chinese civilization throughout much of Chinese history. The current name, Guang, means expanse, and has been associated with the region since the creation of Guang Prefecture in 226 AD. It was given provincial-level status during the Yuan dynasty, but even into the 20th century it was considered an open, wild territory. The abbreviation of the region is Gi, which comes from the name of the city of Guilin, the provincial capital during both the Ming dynasty and the Qing dynasty. Guangxi contains the largest population of China's ethnic minorities, in particular the Zhuang people, who make up 32% of the population. Various regional languages and dialects such as Pinghua, Zhuang, Cantonese, Hak and Min are spoken alongside Mandarin Chinese. Quote, Guang and Guangnian Donglu, originally inhabited by a mixture of tribal groups known to the Chinese as the Baiyu. Alternatively submissive to and independent of Ha dynasty control, Southern Yu expanded colonization and Sinicization under its policy of harmonizing and gathering the 100 Yu, until its collapse in 111 BC during the southward expansion of the Ha dynasty. The name, Guangxi, can be traced to the expansive, or wide, province of the Eastern Wu, who controlled southeastern China during the Three Kingdoms period. Guilin formed one of its commanderies. Under the Tang dynasty, the Zhuang moved to support Piluoger's kingdom of Nanzhao in Yunnan, which successfully repulsed imperial armies in 751 and 754. Guangxi was then divided into an area of Zhuang ascendancy west of Nanning and an area of Ha ascendancy east of Nanning. After the collapse of the southern Zhao, Liu Yan established the southern Ha circuit, harassed by both Song and the Zhaoji in modern Vietnam. The Zhuang leader Nong Jigao led a revolt in 1052 for which he is still remembered by the Zhuang people. His independent kingdom was short-lived, however, and the tattooed Song general Diking returned Guangxi to China. The Yuan dynasty established control over Yunnan during its conquest of the Dali kingdom in 1253, and eliminated the southern Song following the Battle of Yamen in 1279. Rather than ruling Lingnang as a subject territory or military district, the Mongolians then established Guangxi as a proper province. The area nonetheless continued to be unruly, leading the Ming dynasty to employ the different local groups against one another. At the Battle of Big Ratan Gorge between the Zhuang and the Yao in 1465, 20,000 deaths were reported. During the Ming and Qing dynasties, parts of Guangxi were ruled by the powerful Sun clan. The Sun were of Zhuang ethnicity and were recognized as Tuzi or local ruler by the Chinese emperors. The Qing dynasty left the region alone until the imposition of direct rule in 1726. But the 19th century was one of constant unrest. A Yao revolt in 1831 was followed the Jinshan uprising, the beginning of the Taiping Rebellion in January 1851 and the Dacheng Rebellion in April 1854. The execution of Saint August Chapdelaine by local officials in Guangxi provoked the Second Opium War in 1858 and the legalization of foreign interference in the interior. Although Louis Brière de Leslie was unable to invade its depot at Longzhou, the Guangxi army saw a great deal of action in the 1884 Sino-French War. Largely ineffective within Vietnam, it was still able to repulse the French from China itself at the Battle of Zhenan Pass on 23 March 1885. Following the Wuchang Uprising, Guangxi seceded from the Qing Empire on 6 November 1911. The Qing governor, Shen Bingdan, initially remained in place, but was subsequently removed by a mutiny commanded by General Lu Rongying. General Lu's old Guangxi clique overran Hunan and Guangdong as well and helped lead the national protection war against Yuan Shikai's attempt to re-establish an imperial government. Zhuang loyalty made his self-government army cohesive but reluctant to move far beyond its own provinces. Subsequent feuding with Sun Yat-sen led to defeat in the 1920 and 1921 Guangdong-Guangxi War. After a brief occupation by Chen Jiongming's Cantonese forces, Guangxi fell into disunity and profound banditry for several years until Li Zonggan's Guangxi Pacification Army established the new Guangxi clique dominated by Li, Hu Wang Shahong, and Bai Chongxi. Successful action in Hunan against Wu Peifu led to the Zhuang-GPA becoming known as the Flying Army and the Army of Steel. After the death of Sun Yat-sen, Li also repulsed Tang Jiao's revolt and joined the Northern Expedition, establishing control over other warlords by the Republic of China.